Hey, this is Dil Chaudhary from Remax Real Properties, the team lead, the Dedicated Realtors. We are on our the second podcast. We're with the entire crew pretty much here today. Next to me is Alia.
Alia Kushar Maktader, Dedicated Realtors, Remax Real Properties.
I just want to say, Alia's been doing a great job. She's actually been rookie in our group. Been doing it for almost a year and a half. So congratulations, you passed your first year. I've been doing this about 5 years with the banking sector, about 10 years, so roughly about 15 with the real estate and mortgage business. Then we got next, Kay.
Yeah, hi guys, my name is Augustine K. Oladoga, Dedicated Realtors with Remax Real Property. And I've been in real estate for the past 7 years, and the 7 years has been great of experience with my team lead, Mr. Dale. Everything is like teamwork. So, and again, thanks to my team lead right here, Mr. Dale.
Thank you very much. So we also have Elmer on the other side.
Hi, my name is Elmer Benaloga with Dedicated Realtors, Remax Real Properties. I've been in the real estate industry for past 2 years now. I'm helping a couple of families selling and buying properties.
Hey, so we got Aka Chen on the group as well today, special guest from Scotiabank. He's a home financing advisor. So Aka, I just want to ask you perhaps if you can just shed some light, your experience in the industry itself.
Hey there, thank you for having me. I've been with the financial industry doing lending for 4.5 years. Some light I would shed on the industry right now. I am going to say that in the last 6 years, rates are at an all-time low. A lot of movement in the market. Here to help and here to shed some information with the whole team here.
Thank you very much. So that being said, you guys met the entire crew for today. And so I'm first and foremost, I'm going to ask, perhaps it's a casual conversation, but I would like to ask Kay. He's been in the industry for about 7 years and he's doing a great job. And going to ask, Kay, we talk about a lot about what it takes to sell a property. That's right. To list a property, put it up in the market. But there's a lot goes behind scenes, right?
Yes.
Could you kind of maybe give us some more details, your version of it, what it takes?
Yeah, there's a lot of work put together to sell a property. First of all, if you have a seller, first you want to get to know the seller. And at the same time, you have to let the seller know that there's a lot of work has to be done. What I mean by you have to do a CMA. CMA, basically explanation is you have to do a market analysis of the area just to know exact property or the value of what exact that property is worth, what kind of price you're going to list the property for. So that's one of the steps to take is listing a property or getting the value.
So you do the market comparables. What do you do with that information when you go and see them and you're presenting that information? And of course they're gonna say, you know what? Majority of the sellers they always want top dollars. When you go walk through the entire house, you look at everything and then you say, you know what? There's my presentation. This is what we're gonna do, and this is what I think this property can be sold for.
Yes.
But if there's often time, you go through the entire process, you do the presentation, and you say, you know what? It can be sold for $900,000, but they're looking for $1 million. So what do you do there?
Yeah, great question, Mr. Bill. A lot of sellers believe their house is worth more than what is out there. Especially when they see a neighbor sold for $3 million and then they expect their house to sell for the same thing or sold for over $3 million. But you have to, for the comparable, now this is a process whereby you have to sit down with the seller and basically show them the past sale and then compare that to their current property. Now, there's a lot of work maybe that needs to be done in their house. And also the property that was sold prior to their property, you have to show them the kind of work that was actually done in that property. Because, that house is well updated, up to date. and their house is not as updated.
Maybe they have to spend maybe 50, 100, 200,000.
Exactly. And now I will explain to them, if you want to sell your house for $2 million as your neighbor, then you have to bring it up to the standard. So I will show them how to get it to that standard. What that needs to be done, what needs to be replaced, anything that needs to be done in the house.
So, for example, this beautiful house that we are showcasing today, right, is one of our colleague Jay. She actually put it up in the market. It looks like it was completely touched.
Yes, that's
completely
great.
touched. There's a lot of money to be done, invested here.
Yes.
This is the type of property when you put up on the market, it should sell for the price that seller
That's
probably
correct. Yeah, that's
as
correct.
long as they're reasonable.
Yes, that's
right.
Yes.
One of the things that I find, Alia, when we go and do presentation, you and I did a couple of presentations, that's right. For the most part, a lot of time they ask, what is your team is willing to do, that's right? And could you perhaps maybe touch on that?
Like for instance, if like Kay was saying, if you go to a house and it's not, fully done or it needs improvement, we will provide that homeowner contacts like a renovation contractor who can come in and help them do, like, say for instance, minor renovations, sort of like changing a countertop or painting or anything like
backsplash.
that. Right? Yeah, exactly.
Maybe the vanity for the washrooms, right? Quick, maybe tiles got to be
change
changed.
some lights or putting a few
pot
pot
lights,
just to make it a little bit
chandeliers.
brighter.
Yes.
I find always that works. It's always about just putting in. You don't have to spend $1 million in order to get back return, right? It's just basically basic things that you have to do. If in your neighborhood, removing the carpet and putting in hardwood floors,
Or laminate.
Or laminate would improve that the value, then do it. It's not going to cost you $1 million to put in.
It's not going to actually.
Yeah.
But people don't want to spend money.
Right.
Like for sellers especially, like going back to that point, they don't want to spend money, but they want to get the top dollars. But in order for you to get the maximum, you got to spend money. You got to look elegant. You got to look nice, right?
And again, Mr. Dale, that is why I always tell sellers, you have to update the house as if you don't want to move again.
Correct.
So if you update the house and then you love it, then you can list it.
Yeah.
Basically that's how it is.
Actually, you make a very good point there. Very good point. That being said, I know Aka, we were just talking earlier. When we're selling a house, seller has this money coming into their pocket. That's right. What is the intention here? Are we going to go and buy another property? And if that's the case, what exactly, where do you see like you fit into this equation?
So I am fortunate to work with such a talented group. I would say an approach that I typically get with my partner realtors are they typically provide a holistic solution. Yes, you're selling your home, but I find that a lot of people that are selling their home, they have this stigma in the head where they need to sell their home first prior to building a plan. What are you going to use the money for? So when I sit down and meet with clients, it's not just tackling on potentially getting you this home. Let's give you options. Let's give you the sky's the limit, right? So we take an approach on looking at your income, how much you actually can get from the house after selling the house, after paying on your mortgage, potentially even consolidating debt to save you more money. So that's where I typically come in the equation. Again, I'm working with a great group. We don't just provide you services with your mortgage. We have saving services.
So you're touching base basically on the financial planning side of the bank as well, right?
Correct.
So you would basically, let's just say we have about $200,000 sitting in our mortgage outstanding, and we got $800,000 coming back by selling this property. Yeah. They will have a lot of money left even if they do purchase something else. Right. You're trying to basically connect them with some financial advisor to have some sort of retirement planning or whatever the case may be.
So at the bank we do. I handle more on the lending side, but any investment side, depending, no two people are the same, right? Everyone has their own needs. So I do partner up with financial advisors, planners, even wealth management to provide a holistic approach on covering all your banking needs as a client. So that's typically something that I refer off internally after receiving the client. But again, sitting down with the client, meeting them would be a great opportunity for not just the client, but for myself as well to uncover needs or investment properties that they may not be even aware of. I have had a few success stories where I've met with a client. They have money, but they can't qualify for all the properties themselves. You have children, I give them options, I give them a lot of possibilities, and then again, doors open, everyone's happy, client's happy, and we might even run into repeat business later on down the road.
So speaking of that, because there are sometimes people have, for example, you're on a wealth management you just touched on, someone who has a lot of money sitting in a bank account, specifically they're on a retirement time, they don't have a lot of income coming in, but they need to qualify for that $1 million house. You know what I mean? So, but you guys have like some sort of something called net worth program or somewhere, like, can you touch base on that a bit?
So at Scotiabank, we do have a lot of different programs fit for different client needs. You don't necessarily need to be working or be self-employed for you to qualify for a mortgage. Again, don't try. I know it's hard, but get that stigma out of the way. Simply reach out, pick up the phone, call us. We'll sit down with you and, hey, there might be options that you were never aware of. It's not like we charge for this service. We're just here to help out.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
You know what, Dylan? Sorry,
Yeah.
not to cut you off, but to add to your question that you asked me earlier, what we, the Dedicated Realtors, can do for a client who wants to sell their home and it's not ready to go up on the market. We also provide staging services too as well. And also Aka is part of our team too as well.
Oh yeah.
So we even provide, mortgage financing services too as well for our clients. So we're pretty much a one-stop shop for a seller.
That's exactly right. That is
Yeah,
true. We got the lawyers, we got the mortgage advisors from the banks.
That's right.
We have the stagers, we have the movers, we have the contractors.
We also have the contractors.
We also have the connection for the pods or the storage room.
That's right.
That's right.
Yes.
So going back to that question, why is it so important to declutter?
Basically, it's just, it's important to declutter and also depersonalize, because what you want is that buyer to come in, when they come into the room or your house, you want them to feel welcome. You want your home to feel welcoming and imagine themselves living there. That's the main part. And also it's to showcase your home. Pretty much your house is on a runway, and you want to show them what this home can offer them as a buyer.
Because if you're having, let's say, your own picture, my own picture, okay, or anyone,
yeah.
You come in, you all automatically, okay, I don't belong to this house.
Yeah. I feel like I'm invading your privacy.
Exactly, you're invading the privacy.
And again, to add to that, you want every area of the house to be accessible.
Yes.
If someone that's coming in to look at your house and they open a closet and they can't really see anything in there, everything is blocked. Yes. Or they open a room and they cannot access anything in there. Yeah. So they won't see any value in the property.
And they don't see the space.
They don't see anything on a property or something. So you want everywhere to be accessible.
Absolutely.
So that's why it's good to make sure everywhere is clear and accessible.
So I think declutter, going back to again, so okay, you're right. What we do as a dedicated realtors, we basically provide you with our contractors, the storage guys, the pod guys. They come in, they pick up your stuff, they put it in the storage room. Your house is completely ready for us to put it up on the market. And I think there's a lot of amount of effort that we do as dedicated realtors that I think normal, ordinary real estate agents out there are not probably offering.
Yes.
The value that we provide, the initial consultation, we bring the stagers, we bring the contractors when we know that this needs to be done. And I feel like in any property that we do put it up in the market, for the most part, we do provide them a proper sort of a guideline. Let's give you 2 weeks. You invest that money, whether it's $5,000 or $10,000. And I think you guys would agree with, if you improve by $10,000, whether it's a countertop from a laminate to quads or whatever, or granite, it does bring some value, that's right. And just a fresh coat of paint.
It just brightens up the room.
And putting the pot lights, changing those little chandeliers and all those stuff, I think it really brings. Yes. And I feel like between $10,000 to $12,000, if you spend on any different house, it's your number one game is to sell your house. To sell it in a less than in the market. And number two, of course, we want to sell it for the proper price that you would be appreciated. So I think for the most part, $10,000 to $12,000 of his spending, and this is again generic. Again, guys, some of the houses need more or less, right? But I think it's very important that we are connected. Would you guys agree? We are connected with contractors, the stages, the whole 9 yards,
Absolutely.
right? Does that make us a better team than others out there?
We are connected in terms of we make the house move-in ready. That's the first. That's the word. Move-in ready. You want a buyer to walk into your house and be like, "Whoa,
yeah,
I'm just gonna move in. I don't have to do anything."
Yeah. There's no touching.
Yeah, I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
But also, you want when a seller comes to you, right? You want them to make sure and let them know that, hey, we can get you come here. You don't have to go anywhere else. We provide all the services and assist you if there's no way that we can we can assist you with numbers or contacts where you can go get things done. Like for instance, also outside, I think curb appeal is a big thing too as well. It's always get overlooked,
Well, I mean, we live in a country that is very beautiful. 3 months or 4 months of the year, it's under the snow. So you can't really see outside, but the time that we got a showcase, you got a showcase outside really nice. So you're right. Elmer, I know you know a lot about landscaping, that part of the, you own yourself a house that, you've done an amazing job. And you had few listings that you did recently where you did advise and suggested a few things to your sellers. What do you think worked for you?
Well, first of all, I have to tell them that if you want to sell the house quickly and with a top dollar, right? You need to make your house really nice, especially the curb, right? That's the first one that the person will look at first. When they reach the house, then they will say, "Oh, the curb appeal is really nice." Yeah. Because the more time that the house will stay in the market, the depreciates the value. That's what I've noticed. Because sometimes when I put an offer, I said, "Oh, this property is like 30 days in market. Why this house doesn't sell?"
You're gonna try to
So of course. So that's
so it's important from the get-go. I guess I knew you and I were talking earlier. Is that let the seller be the buyer. Yeah. And what would you come in? Let's walk from the door. What would you? And let's do a walkthrough. And how much would you sell? How much would you buy this for? Yeah. Let them pretend they're the buyer. And I think at that point they can say yes or no. Hey, okay, I'm being very unreasonable. Let's be very reasonable. Right? So very valid point, Elmer. And I think this gets to show you we are very much dedicated. We're here to assist you in any way we can. One of the things that we always do, also we were talking earlier, one-stop solution, is that we're also connected with the insurance advisors, the lawyers, the mortgage advisors, all that and whole 9 yards is with us, right? So it's important for you to hire a group of realtors that they are dedicated. Number one thing that we also do, we also showcase our presence on social media, which a lot of realtors out there are still undermining or have not been exposed. Can you guys touch base on that a little bit?
Yeah, especially now with COVID, I just think social media is just, very, very important. It's crucial to selling your home, Not a lot of people would want, buyers to come in and out of their home and so on. And I just think that, if you can minimize the showing down to, say, for instance, one per visit, one per person or a family, that'll be great, And also social media just takes it to a different level. It just hits every part of the world that you can think about. You can go from China to South America to Asia, wherever you think.
It's in fact, it's very, I want to stop you for 1 second. We just had a listing down in Scarborough Town Center, and it was a condo townhouse. I got a call from Las Vegas, a person who's like, "Hey, I'm going to move to Toronto. I loved your property." They looked at this video, an epic video. So now let's talk about our partnership with our videographer and photographer. What do you think about that? Like those guys that we deal with, they do a very good job, I think.
I think Elmer and Melissa are great. I mean, you can tell from the number of views that we get, but it's just a production part. It's just phenomenal, They do an amazing job. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, you guys make us look good, so thank you very much. You're saying?
So I just want to add it with a video of mostly the drone and stuff like that. I think we have amazing guys that get that done as well. Even with the video I had done, even with the property that we put on the market beginning of the year.
Yeah.
The view I got is amazing. We're looking at over 10,000 views.
Yes.
Not just because of how the location, anything, but the production.
The presentation.
Yeah, the presentation was amazing.
Yes.
And then everybody, they see the presentation, they look at video, and then they send it to their friend to take a look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's just an amazing. And that alone, done the traffic to the property, drive the traffic to the property, come and see the property.
So what it does is, by showcasing that, and you touch base on the social media aspect of it, we are able to also have a lot more followers, right? Whether they recruit us or they let us represent them, that's that's what we want at the end of the day. Right? We want everybody to come to us, but let's face it, we got 10 fingers at different sizes, so not everyone's going to be looking at the way we think. But what's important is it's the uniqueness of what we do and how we deliver it. Like you said, the presentation of it. I want to hear back from Aka more so. We have done listing. You have also attended our, in 2-hour presentation time in terms of our open houses. Can you touch base why it's so important, perhaps a mortgage financing advisor to be there on that day when we have an open house and how it helps?
So typically speaking, when you're coming in to look at a house, I mean, again, there's always that stigma of, can I actually afford it? So when you come into I'm not gonna lie, we're all human at the end of the day. A lot of us typically drag our feet. If we have any excuse to delay the process, we will, only because we all live very busy lives. Now, imagine when you walk into a house, you're thinking, wow, this house was beautifully staged. I can fully feel like I can live here.
Yeah.
Now you're thinking, can I afford it? By the time you drag your feet and you're actually going to walk into a bank to try to get some answers, chances are, if you're looking at a house that you really like, the 6-7 people following you are going to want to buy that house. Now imagine after seeing the house, you like the house, and you get all your financial questions addressed right away, you're comfortable making an offer. When you make an offer and you can get the financing done, why not go in firm? When you go in firm, the guy selling the house is going to want to deal with you. It's a one-stop shop. It's a seamless experience. That's what we like to call it, right?
So during the open house, would you say, with COVID being COVID, but just on a normal basis, it's important to have a mortgage partner from a bank perspective to have, around us when we do open house?
I definitely gotten the feedback when I've talked to the few clients who actually come up to me, comment that it's a different feeling. It's not every day you go to open house and there's someone providing financial advice at the same time. So I wouldn't say it's mandatory. Is it a good idea? 100%, and that's what makes you guys different from a lot of the other partners that I work with. And honestly, we sat down together. We were trying to figure out ways to work together, and I think this is one of the better ideas we came up with.
I'll just jump in there. First, I would like to thank Mr. Aka, because he's been an amazing partner.
Thank you.
Because how many realtors have the access to a bank financial advisor on a weekend or even at midnight?
Yes.
That's why Dedicated Realtor is so special. At any time, it doesn't matter. You can be in your house. You don't have to leave your house. You can reach out to us. We will know how to help you. We have the bank just on our on our fingertips. Okay.
Fingertips, yeah.
So that's why Mr. Aka is here as well. He's so accessible. Anytime I want Mr. Aka, I pick up my phone and say one down.
Yeah.
And he's always
on your speed dial.
Yeah. So for other agents out there, they don't have this kind of partner at all. So that's why I would say our team is so special. And I want to say again, thank you very much to Mr. Aka for great work and being a good partner.
Yeah, you've been a great partner, solid partner. And you know what? That actually speaks your devotion, dedication, and focus to be with this team, because I know there's one or two times I put you on the line at 11:30 in the night. The person is in California. We're having that chit chat, that conversation, and just you being there 10 o'clock, like literally midnight, and that shows our ability to showcase and our focus and dedication, and so is your time. So that's important. I know, Ali, you've been really getting to know Aka a lot more. You have a really in-depth relationship with him. You're working together on a couple of deals. What do you think? what Aka does sets him apart from the others in the industry?
It's just basically his flexibility, his schedule. He's just pretty much, I want to say, an open book. You know, you just call him like anytime and he's there. And that's what you need, because you can
a true
always,
partner.
exactly, you can have that impromptu seller, that seller that just call you like literally now, and then they want an answer 5 minutes. You know, they call me at 6 o'clock and then 5:05 they need an answer. So I mean, he's always there. Honestly, I've been now for 1+ year going on, and I can't say I can count on my fingers the number of times that he didn't pick up, you know, and it's less than 5.
He just doesn't pick up my call.
Yeah. Just call me and I will get through this. Okay,
next time I know how to get home.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, for me, that's how the bank's supposed to be all about, right? This is, I mean, to me, to define Mr. Aka, I'll say this is the bank.
Well, exactly.
This is the bank right here.
And this is how you fall in love with certain individuals, certain brand as well, right? So,
but it's also great for a person who is, for a young realtor, let's say a baby realtor, you know, the rookie, to come in and then have a partner like this, because when you're fresh into this career, you know, you want people who are supportive next to you, right? Because you're hustling to get out of there, get into the market, you know, you want to be one of the top agents. And once you have people who are supportive around you, like you, Dill, Kay, Elmer, and also like you have a mortgage person there. Like not a lot of people, like Kay said, that you can go and have a realtor that say, okay, you know what, tell your seller, I do work personally alongside with somebody from Scotiabank, like an advisor.
And it's important to showcase that, because why is it so important to showcase that our partners that we work with, such as Aka and the others that we have, because you guys know that we work with pretty much every single bank, but we work with exclusively with probably Scotiabank a lot more than the other banks, right? What do you think? Like that's significant?
Yes, it is, because we've been to a lot of door knocking.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And then they listen, but something changes when you say, oh, by the way, we have an advisor here from Scotiabank. They're like, oh, now they want to listen, right? Because that's the main issue they're having. They want that first. A lot of people want to buy houses,
of course,
right? But the main issue is the mortgage. So when you have the mortgage guy right there, it takes all the stress away.
And then all the questions can be maybe perhaps answered.
Exactly.
And they see that deepened partnership with, with the other banks.
Instead of they going to the bank,
the bank is coming to them.
Well, that is going to be the new norm anyway. Right?
Yeah.
Like we are going to actually have bank officers coming to you in your house. Similarly, how they're doing for investment planning as well, right? So I think overall, like with that being said, Aka, do you have anything else to add? Working with this awesome group, I hope you're gonna call us.
I'm sweating. I'm sweaty from getting buttered up. I do want to say, you know, when it comes to buying a house or going and reaching out for any kind of service, the reality is, after calling the first time, maybe the second time, and you don't get an answer, there's no callback. Chances are you're gonna pick up the phone, call the next guy. So that's why I've made a habit to try to call back or pick up the phone right away, because that's the same expectation you're with the group around us. To stress on the partnership, I was going to say, Dedicated Realtors are actually what we call a certified partner with Scotiabank, meaning that if you stumble into a branch and you are trying to find a realtor, our bank actually sends Dedicated Realtors to come service you, because through the partnership over, it's been years now, right? It's been years that you guys have had a partnership with us, trusted business, being professional, getting feedback from our clients that it was a comfortable experience dealing with this group. So the partnership's definitely there. I was going to say, I shouldn't just thank myself. I mean, you shouldn't be just thanking me for picking up the phone. How many times have I sent a client your way and you picked up the phone, right? It goes both ways, and I'm happy to work with such a successful and determined group.
Thank you. And with that being said, this is our second podcast. We want to say thank you so much. This is going to be a monthly thing that we're going to be doing. And I want to say thank you to all my partners. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being here today.